Kind of brings us nicely on, though, to the first real element of preview on the football terrace this preseason before the Premier League begins. And I wanted to start off with, obviously, we'll mention them again on the Thursday show. We really go through this in detail. And of course, the big live event Wednesday night. It's going to be amazing in London that we're hosting. But Arsenal Football Club. And I say this because I actually had my best performing, vocal solo video where I spoke about one thing ever this weekend, simply titled Arsenal Scare Me. And I meant it. I'm not even capping. I'm going to let you guys talk about this more than me. Arsenal look sensational. Arsenal look ready. Arsenal look like, with the players that they've brought in, the individuals that have left, the style of football, Arsenal look great right now. Can they challenge across all fronts? Can they be a threat to everybody this year? Can they look like Arsenal of old? Or, like a lot of people are also suggesting, is that maybe they've peaked too early. Maybe this is just preseason hype and doesn't mean anything. How are Arsenal going to do this year?
Cash, you want to go first? No?
I'll get my little 2 cents out there first. I know you are like busting at the seams to get in on this, Cam. I'll just say my little 2 cents here. The results don't matter, in preseason at all, but the performances do. We've improved. I think everybody can see that. Everybody talked about how we didn't have a striker. We have one now. Say what you want about Gabriel Jesus, but he does take us up a level. All of the players that we brought in make sense. Saliba makes us better. Zinchenko makes us better. We just look like a better team. Does that mean we're going to win the league? Probably not, but I think we're right in the thick of things with everybody else. Manchester United, Chelsea, Spurs, everybody else, that's in and around us. Liverpool and Man City are doing something else to fight for those last 2 spots in the top 4, so anybody who thinks that Arsenal are going to be way off the pace, I think are kidding themselves. But also Arsenal fans that think that a couple of good signings are going to put us up there with Man City and Liverpool are also deluding themselves. So we have to just, kind of keep it calm, but I'm not going to undersell this team. I think we looked really, really good. And it's not just about the results. It's the way that we're playing and the fact that so many people are talking about us. Not only that, people were watching our preseason games and talking about it, not just Arsenal fans. I think people recognize it. So I think there's an element in truth that Arsenal have improved and they look a lot more scary and ready to go. But equally, it's preseason and we just need to at least stay humble, because anything can happen. But yeah, I think we had really good recruitment. We got the players that we needed in. We still need a couple more. But yeah, it's that balance in between not getting carried away, but also recognizing that we do look really good.
So
go ahead, Cam.
So listen, no, I'm not going to trash enough because I think they had a decent summer too, but I think it's a bit overrated in the sense where a lot of people are talking about, I've never heard Jesus talked about like this. People he's been in the league for years, and listen, I get it. He was behind in City, but we talk about a lot of City's B players with high regard. I've never heard Jesus talked about the way he's been talked about until he got to Arsenal, started scoring goals like this in preseason, which, okay, we'll see. The big thing for me, and this is the one thing that I think everybody is forgetting, or maybe it's not everybody, but your manager's still Arteta. And at the end of the day, he still hasn't proven anything to me. He still hasn't proven that he's able to get things over the line. All you had to do was beat Newcastle, and you would have had very different signings this year than you did that. Then you had to go in you would have gone a higher tier because you'd been in Champions League. That was it. You just had to beat Newcastle. And for a manager like Arteta, where he always seems to have excuses and reasons why they're not good enough. And now this year you are in every tournament, Europa, they all matter. Everything matters. Last year, a lot of them were free hits. As long as you guys were games in hand FC. I remember at one point it was statistically nearly impossible for you not to make the top 4, and you still pulled it off.
Cam, you can't say Arteta hasn't shown you anything, no, because I know it was 2 seasons ago, but to beat Chelsea and City on the way with an Emery team and win FA Cup, he's shown you something.
Sure, okay. I mean, sure. What? Okay, fine. That 2 years ago, the FA Cup, but I really just think that's
not with his team.
When I look at what's happening with the league and the other teams, obviously we still need Frankie de Jong, but the teams they're going up against for that last spot are going to be Chelsea, United.
Last
Spurs
two
is probably-
spots. There's two
but
spots available.
I think Spurs are nailed on, but that's just my opinion. I think with Conte, I can't see. This is where my rating of managers comes in very important. Like I rate managers highly in football. I think it's so important. So when I look at the Pep, Klopp, Conte triumphant, like they're on a different level. Conte's got his players. He's not going to follow the top four. Very least, he's not going to do that. So I look at the next three, and you go Tuchel, Erik ten Hag, Arteta. Yes, Erik ten Hag has not proven anything in the Prem, but he has won two. He did come back and win the Dutch league when they weren't winning. He did make it to a semifinal in the UCL. He has proven to be a top class manager that everybody wanted. Arteta has not done that. And for me, that's going to be the decider, I think. When it comes down to those three teams, you got Tuchel versus Erik ten Hag versus Arteta. If I were to ask everybody on this panel who they're taking out of those three managers, they're going to go Tuchel probably, then Ten Hag, and then probably your guy Arteta. And that's the difference, in my opinion, where I think Arsenal will end up missing out on the top four.
You know what I'll say, yeah? And this might be against the grain, but look, I like Arsenal's recruitment, man. I like what they've done. I like what they're trying to do. Obviously, there are a lot of jokes and things that you can run. He's just trying to build a Pep B team and all of that kind of stuff. But I like what they're trying to do in terms of the guys that they've got. In the attack, they look nice. In the defense, they look nice, especially their starting 11 anyway. And obviously, we've had conversations about who's got the strongest squad and all of that kind of stuff. And like, this is the year now, like, I think Arteta will need to prove. So like you said, I think what you said is he needs to prove. He hasn't shown you anything. Now I'm saying the second half of that argument for me is that this is the year where I feel like he needs to really show that he deserves to be sitting at the table. Because I just think if Arsenal, there's three teams, like you mentioned. If I do go along again with what you said, where Tottenham will finish third and they're nailed on, that there are three teams going for that fourth spot. And even though two teams have to miss out, it doesn't change the fact that I do honestly believe that Arsenal need to be looking at top four. Like I just think not finishing in the top four won't be a good situation for them, considering the money that they've invested, considering the fact that, look, Arteta's been backed.
It's an abject failure if they don't make top four.
Yeah, he's been backed. Like, I don't think, if anything, it puts more pressure on him. And I actually like the guy. I think he's got a bit about him. I think when we see coaches speak, we banter when we say, like, this guy doesn't really look like a coach, and he doesn't, like Frank Lampard, for example. A lot of people don't rate him as a manager and whatnot. I think one thing that I like to look at managers is the way they speak, the way their demeanor, the way their players respond to them. And at the end of the day, every single time where we thought the Arsenal players had stopped playing for Arteta, they suddenly seem to play for him and they kick into gear. So they do like him to a degree. It's clear to see. So now that he's got players that want to play for him and are of a technical ability to the standard that he wants, I think this is the year where, look, the pressure is on and he has to rise to the occasion. I don't know just if a trophy is the objective for Arsenal or Arsenal fans, but top four is definitely a must.
Yeah, I think top four is on everybody's mind. But the one thing I will say about what Cam said is he has to remember what he says now and apply it to Ten Hag. You know, I mean, Arteta's coming. No, but you haven't. I mean, you basically rid him off the first year and the second year, and you're saying because he didn't achieve anything for you then that, you know.
But he's got three. This is year three. Sorry, maybe Daniel.
So we're year three now. Okay, but he has to prove it this year, but that's not what you said. You basically said he hasn't proved anything. I
just finished up his argument, innit?
Just kind of finish it up, but yeah.
So all I'm saying is that, like, I get what all of you guys are saying. Arteta is not like of the same. He doesn't have the same CV as everybody else up there, you know. But I think you have to wait and see what he has with his players. This is finally his team. We have a striker. I know people are going to say that team was his too, but like I do think people just wanted to disregard the fact that if every single time we go up against each other and do 11v11s, even with teams outside of the top six and Arsenal players don't make it in, then why do you have such high expectations for Arteta with this team? If you think all the players are crap, then what do you expect from him?
I think if you put United squad right now beside Arsenal's, it's very close, like player for player. I actually like, and I'm not gonna be delusional and be like, like United's way better. Last year, I think we would have been if we took your last year team. But what you've added, I'm not going to.
Cam, I think
it's close. I think it's real close.
The thing is here, Cam, is most Arsenal fans. I don't know about Jess. I can't speak for Jess, of course, but most Arsenal fans be the complete opposite, and it wouldn't be that your squads are close. They'll say the Arsenal squad is far better than Manchester United's squad.
Yeah.
I don't
As
think
Arsenal, I don't know if you've seen the Kings of pre-season just come off of that 7-0 or whatever when it was. Gabriel Jesus, one of the best strikers in the Premier League, we all know him as over the past 4 weeks. I think that, as you guys have all said, that the pressure is on, but I don't expect Arsenal to live up to this pressure. They crumbled when the going got tough last season. At the end of the season, against Newcastle, against who else was it? Crystal Palace, against I believe Brentford, all these lower bottom teams. The Arsenal players didn't show up for their manager. They didn't show up for their man. It wasn't, and I'm not going to hear the excuses that there was no striker, there wasn't this, there wasn't that. They had the players, the core group of players, barring Tierney and was it Tierney, Tomiyasu, and Partey. They had their core group of their best.
That's a lot of players to be missing. If you miss three of your starting 11 players, if you were missing Kane and whatever little center midfielder that you got, how would you guys do? How would you guys do?
Kane,
no.
Let me get to my point first, and then you can respond. Yes.
No, I'm not, because you're talking crap right now.
I haven't finished.
You're missing 3 of your starting players, so nothing should change.
Jess. Again, you're missing 3 players that, although you think are so key to this, Arsenal now have replaced some of those players and are quite confident and performing quite well without those players, as Arsenal fans would agree to. So they can't be that important. We can't replace.
We didn't have Zinchenko. We didn't have Zinchenko and Saliba last season.
Again, so
we didn't have
at the back end of last season, it's shown that these players will not turn up when the going gets tough, and we're going to see that throughout this season. They got to play 2 games a week most of the time, like you guys have mentioned, 4 competitions. They didn't do that at all last season. Playing Europa League football is going to get to them, so we're going to see that happen, and those players are going to really feel on the fitness side of things.
You know what, with Arsenal, right? For me, and I don't know if Jess agrees, they still probably need another striker, because if Gabriel Jesus does get injured, I'm struggling to think where the goals may come from, because for me, Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus, there's a golfing class there. So, but I think if Gabriel Jesus does stay fit the whole season, I think Arsenal will just about get that top 4. But I also do feel you may need another DM. There's still certain areas where you could strengthen. But on Terry's question,
quickly, just very quickly, it's just a quick question.
Yeah,
so you
no, do you think?
As the squads are right now, you think, I just want to hear your opinion and have it clarified. As the squads are set right now, you think Arsenal finishes above Chelsea?
Yes, I would just believe Arsenal finish Chelsea. I think Arsenal would just about get that 4th. I think Arteta's finally got the formula right.
Can I also? I think the only thing that I think you guys are missing out on is you guys say it's just the manager and the players, but it's also the players playing with the manager, the philosophy, all that stuff mixed in together. We're clicking. I mean, Ten Hag hasn't really got you guys clicking yet. It's early days. Tuchel, you guys are still trying to figure things out. Things are not 100%. I really think you guys underrate the job that Arteta has done.
I agree.
Yes, that's why I think
so we're right, and that's what I'm saying. We're in the mix for top 4, just like everybody else. There's not much in it. And it may not be the manager that's the difference. It might be clicking. It might be injuries. It might be this. It might be that. So sometimes I think it's just, okay, what could I find that's just, it could be a couple of different things. I think we're right in the mix. And I like that we're being underrated once again. I like that.
But you're not being.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Jordan said we're not going to make it. Cam said we're not going to make it. So we're underrated. Right?
What I'm saying. You jumped slow down. You didn't hear what I said. You might be being underrated by Jaws and a few people here, but you and most Arsenal fans, and I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I agree. You guys are up there. You're finishing you're my first prediction that I'm doing this week, and Arsenal are finishing inside the top 4. They're ahead in their rebuild of Man United. United haven't clicked into place yet. You should be finishing in front of us without a shadow of a doubt. And Chelsea look all over the place, so you should be finishing in front of them. There's 2 teams you are playing better than right now. The mood is better. The fans are more on. I think that fans are a massively important part. When fans are happy, teams typically play better.
Yeah.
There isn't the pressure that's put upon them.
Terry's setting them up. That's what he's doing. He's setting them finish above Chelsea.
This is what happens. Every time I praise a team, whether I praise Spurs, Chelsea, City, I get told I'm setting them up. When I said Liverpool could win the league last year, you're just saying that so you can laugh at them when they don't. It's just,
you know what?
Though